Hey guys, so this video will admittedly be something completely different today, because I want to introduce you guys to a new series that I've discovered this week and also discuss its latest chapter a little bit. The series I'm talking about is Kaiju No. 8. I stumbled across it when looking for a new series to start on Manga Plus, and it's actually listed as the 8th most popular series there at the moment, even before the likes of Chainsaw Man or Jujutsu Kaisen. And since there are only 9 chapters so far and the cover art looks pretty damn awesome, I figured I'd give it a go. And holy shit, what a story it is. If you want to start reading before watching this video, all 9 chapters are free to read so far, and the link is in the description below. Just make sure to come back afterwards. There are a number of familiar concepts in here that we already know from other manga, but so far that really doesn't seem to be a bad thing at all. Just the opposite, really. The series, written and illustrated by Naoya Matsumot, takes place in modern-day Tokyo. The only difference is that for some still unknown reason, enormous monsters pop up to harass the people at times, threatening civilization. To counter this, the country has created the so-called Defense Force, which sole purpose is to destroy these enormous creatures. Their strongest member is Mina, a tough-looking woman that we see destroy one of these gigantuous beasts with relative ease. Up to this point, the story carries some aspects of both Attack on Titan as well as Pacific Rim. However, Kaiju No. 8 addresses an issue that most giant monster stories gloss over. What happens once these beasts have been killed? This is where the main character of the story comes into play. The 32-year-old Kafka, whose name is drawn from the 20th century author Franz Kafka, dreamed of joining the Defense Force, but has failed to pass the entrance exam multiple times and has given up on his dream. Kafka was childhood friends with Mina. The two made a vow to join the Defense Force and protect Japan from the kaiju together after seeing their own town destroyed. After failing to follow Mina, however, he has joined the so-called Kaiju Cleanup Corp instead. His job as a monster sweeper is to chop up and dispose of kaiju killed by the Defense Force. And so, for a change, we actually learn about the nasty side of killing large creatures in a civilian area and how to clean up the mess they leave. However, everything once again changes for Kafka when the ambitious 18-year-old Ichikawa is assigned to work with Kafka. Ichikawa also has plans to take the exam to become a member of the Defense Force, and with his strong determination manages to ignite Kafka's will once again. After being attacked by a so-called yoju, smaller monsters that accompany the main kaiju when they emerge, both Kafka and Ichikawa stand their ground, but end up in the hospital. There, Kafka is infected by a small parasite-like monster, and suddenly his body transforms into a small but quite powerful monster himself. When another kaiju appears in the city, he defeats it with ease, and is from here on out known as Kaiju No. 8, wanted by the public. This is of course a reference to Franz Kafka's story, The Metamorphosis, where the main character one day wakes up transformed into a giant insect. From here on out, Kafka learns to control his new powers at will, and with his newfound strength, he and Ichikawa participate in the next entrance exam. Here they meet Kikoru Shinomiya. Kikoru is the daughter of the Defense Force commander, and her combat power is far greater than any of the other applicants. She's viewed as the hope for Japan and the future leader of the Defense Force, but suffers heavily under her father's high expectations. During the exam, she easily disposes of the smaller monsters that have been set as obstacles, similar to the entrance exam in My Hero Academia. Kikoru defeats most of them, including the main monster, in a short amount of time. However, suddenly a mysterious humanoid kaiju similar to Kafka's own transformation appears, who revives the monster and gives it a power-up. Quickly, it defeats Kikoru and threatens to kill her. But in the last moment, Kafka decides to reveal his true power in front of her and takes out the monster with ease. In the latest chapter, we see the aftermath of the fight and learn that the mysterious monster has infiltrated the monster sweeper force by taking up human appearances. Now, obviously, should I decide to keep going with this series, I will make the chapter reviews much more thoroughly. However, since this is the very first video on this, and most of you probably have just heard about this story for the very first time, I prefer to share with you guys why I have such high hopes for this manga. Despite sharing elements with other popular stories, I believe that up to this point, all of them have been presented in a quite unique and interesting way. The fact that so little is explained about the world and how these creatures came to be in the first place hint at something larger being at work here, and it feels like this story might have quite a bunch of things to be revealed and explored over time, promising some great world building, no pun intended. In this sense, it gives me great Attack on Titan vibes as well, but in a more than positive way. The art style is also really nice, reminding me at times of both Boku no Hero and Fire Force. Most importantly for me, however, the characters all seem to be more than promising, as in the handful of chapters we've gotten so far, there's already a lot happening in terms of characterization and shaping complex personalities. In addition to the excellent action, good plotting and pacing, and quality character work, Matsumoto also delivers some wonderful comedy. The body team of Kafka and Ichikawa have created some excellent chemistry between the different characters in a super short amount of time. The story also promises to have a great balance between some fun shonen vibes and some darker and more mature elements, which I personally am a big fan of. Many of the panels are flat out wonderful to look at. All of them are meticulously drawn and the action is kinetic and leaps out of the page. Facial expressions and emotions are also wonderfully captured. Combined with great writing and a good balance between inner and outer dialogue, every chapter so far has really captured me completely. And so overall, Kaiju No. 8 is a brilliant and fun read that delivers great chapter after great chapter, getting me excited for the next one. While it's still way too early to make any predictions, I think that the story has enormous potential and I highly recommend checking it out. You will definitely not be disappointed. And once you've done so, please let me know if this is something you would like me to cover on a weekly basis, because it really depends on your feedback and preference. So make sure to share your thoughts on this with me in the comments below. Thanks guys, peace.